Hey Teachers on Fire, Tim here, coming to you from a school right beside the park where I had an awesome Instagram live session with Pav from the Staff Room podcast. And something that she mentioned that I'd like to talk about for a moment here is this idea that when you are in the business of educational podcasting, and I say business, it's not a money-making enterprise, but when you're in that activity of content creation and recording podcasts and you're in the midst of that reflective process, you can't help but be engaged with so many other leaders in education. And that's one of the biggest blessings or rewards that I've found from this business of creating Teachers on Fire is that I'm constantly being energized and inspired by other leaders, by other thinkers, by people who maybe don't have everything figured out, but they are learning. They're in that learning journey, right? They have that growth mindset. They have expressed that no matter what sorts of frustrations or challenges they are facing, they are going to find a way, that they want to get better, that they want to teach better. That's another great educational podcast as well, the Teach Better Talk podcast. So I guess my point here is that if you have not considered getting into the game of educational podcasting, why not think about it? Why not consider it? You know, I am not a superstar teacher. Anyone I've worked with will tell you that. I don't have everything figured out. I'm still learning. And so in a way, I'm completely unqualified to operate or produce the Teachers on Fire podcast. And yet I've found that this process, this journey of simply connecting with other educators who are in that learning space that I talked about has been so good for my practice that every week it's like I have that professional development session that, you know, I'm able to connect and learn from them, and they inspire me, and we share ideas, and we sort of have this reciprocal relationship that goes forward and moves and evolves and grows even past the interview, past the podcast. So again, I guess my message is simply get into the game. You won't regret it. It's going to do incredible things, not just put aside the audience or the platform or the numbers or the download. Put all of that aside and just say, if I'm going to force myself to be in these rich educational conversations every week, what is that going to do for my headspace? What is it going to do for my learning, for my confidence, for my professional practice, and ultimately for my students? It's been absolutely amazing. And so, yes, right now I would say we have somewhere in the nature of between 150 and 200 educational podcasts in English. I don't know about other languages, but in the English-speaking world, we have about 150 to 200 that are informal, they're talk show based, or they're monologue based, and it's simply great educators sharing their. And when I say great, I am not perfect. Far from it. I am not a superstar educator. But when I say great, I'm talking about people that I admire that are on fire for learning. They're on fire for education. They want to grow. They want to get better. And so, yes, there are a lot of voices out there, but we can always take some more. And this really is a case of together we rise, right? No one brings exactly your flavor and your voice and your ideas and your preferences and your beliefs to the game, just like you do. No one does it like you. And so when you bring that to the game, when you are authentically you, when you model that learning and that growth mindset, you're going to bring other educators into the podcast space as well. This is a case of everyone wins, right? You're going to get some educators who were kind of isolated, kind of in their own corner, kind of limited to the walls of their own building. You're going to bring them into your space, into your learning area, and you're going to connect them with other learners. And so together we build this professional learning network that is so rich and so positive and exists on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and other spaces as well. And podcasting, I think, is such an important part of that. So again, I don't know if you've thought about podcasting or if you haven't thought about it, but I do want to challenge you to get into the game, start creating some content, start having those conversations. I promise you, this is a Tim Cavey, this is a Teachers on Fire guarantee. It will do amazing things for your growth. It is a sacrifice, but the benefits are rich. Get into the game. It's as easy as downloading the Anchor app. The Anchor app is how I publish and syndicate the Teachers on Fire podcast. It puts my podcast on 12 different platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and so many others. Download that Anchor app and get involved. You don't have to invest a single cent. Just start recording right there on your phone and watch what happens next. If you do get in the game, let me know. Let me know how I can support you, help promote your work, push you along, encourage you, give you some answers to any questions you might have. I'm excited for you about the journey that you're starting. So yeah, let me know. Let me be a part as well. All right. Take care, Teachers on Fire, wherever you are. Take care, stay safe, and keep on learning.